You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Do us a favor, like, subscribe, and comment on the video. Subscribe to the podcast on whatever audio podcast you're listening to. Give it a 5-star review if you don't mind. It costs nothing, but it helps keep all of this free. If you want more, join the Insiders program in the subtext link down below. No trolls, 14-day free trial, and the easiest way ever to cancel. So give that a try. And don't forget to check out a second listen on the network. Nearly every team, college or pro, is ready for you. Now, one thing that's interesting to me is what's going to happen with Austin Simmons. Now, I will say this. Everybody knows how I feel about Austin Simmons and the relationship that I have, honestly, with the family. And Austin's been on this show multiple times over the past 6 months. I'm a fan of Austin Simmons. I have called him a 1-1 level talent and still believe that, okay? So I want to start with that. Austin, when talking to him, is an unbelievably mature young man. He might only be 19 years old, but he doesn't act like it. He handles things better than I probably would if I was put in that same situation. To put that in context, after Ole Miss beat LSU, the celebration was Trinidad Chambliss and Austin Simmons going absolutely nuts on the sideline. Austin Simmons, though, has been not healthy for the last couple of ball games. So once he becomes fully healthy, then it's going to feel a little bit different. And I think Austin can handle it pretty well, honestly. And when you talk about David Simmons and all of that stuff, I think that Austin Simmons, no matter what happens over the course of this football season, is not going to be a distraction and is going to be a good soldier. You know, everybody's worried about a quarterback controversy, splitting the locker room, all of that stuff. I don't think you need to worry about that with this. What I think you need to worry about is the long term of this in this era that we're living in right now. They can be really good people. They can be good soldiers. They can do everything that they're supposed to do, and I fully expect them to do that, just to be clear. But when the transfer portal window opens on, was it January 4th or something like this, a 10-day window, there's a chance that Austin Simmons could get in it. That is the trade-off that you're making right now. And then this is the decision that Lane Kiffin has to make in his head. He makes $10 million a year. He is going to have to be the one that deals with all of this, not all of us. All we can just worry about the decision and how the outcome plays out. And there's lots of ways it could go wrong. But I do not think during the playoffs or during the season this year, as it goes on, Austin Simmons is anything to worry about. He's too good of a soldier. He's too good of a player. He's too good of a dude, if we're going to be honest about it, to where you have to worry about stuff like that. I don't think people have popped on, what about his dad? I don't think his dad's going to be, I don't think anybody's going to be a problem. They understand football. And whenever you understand football, you realize that Ole Miss just played the number 4 team in the country, beat them at home, and the person that has taken snaps got AP National Player of the Week. If it was a ugly win that Ole Miss picked up, a fluky win against LSU, the offense didn't play great, the defense had a pick six, basically like the LSU-Florida game, something like that, yes, it would be weird. It would get really weird. But I think the AP did Ole Miss a solid in naming Trinidad Chambliss the National Player of the Week, because that does resonate with everybody. That resonates with the locker room. Heck, that probably resonates with Austin. So for the short term, I think we're going to be fine. I think Ole Miss can absolutely accomplish every goal that they have in the short term. The long term is where it gets tricky. The long term is where you can't count on, if this happens, Austin to be back next season. That's just the way that college football works now. We'll see. I think they're good people, and they talk about, no, they won't do that or something to that effect. And I'm a huge fan of that family. If anybody would not transfer after this season, it would be the Simmons family. And I know everybody likes to talk because they saw the Athletic article and Lane Kiffin comparing Austin Simmons to Todd Marinovich and David Simmons to Todd Marinovich's dad. And that's not what's happening here. I have seen no evidence whatsoever that would be any sort of a problem down the road. People are making assumptions, doing 1 + 2 = 7, essentially. So I'm not worried about what's going to happen. What I am worried about is Trinidad Chambliss taking the first snap at Georgia. That's the thing that's on my mind at the moment, because Georgia is an incredibly hard place to play. You saw what happened to Jackson Dart when they went to Athens 2 years ago. Georgia 50-burgered Ole Miss, and it wasn't that close. But Ole Miss has 2 games. If they can split one of those 2 games against at Georgia and at Oklahoma, if they can split that, 11-1 and the SEC championship game comes on the table. Everybody within this conference is going to lose games at some point. We will see exactly what it looks like and how you can make it to move forward. All I know is the conversation around Ole Miss football has changed in the last 48 hours. It went from a wait and see, yada, yada, yada. Are they really that good? Oh my gosh, they're last in the SEC in rushing, all of that. You beat LSU, they're like they're number 4 in the country. You know, Trinidad Chambliss is on the Heisman list. He's the 5th best betting favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. And, you know, Ole Miss sitting at number 4 on the AP poll right now. Number 4 on the coaches poll. It's interesting to me. It is that Ole Miss can take that step, because this is the step, this is the corner I think that Ole Miss fans have been waiting on for 50 years. Ever since Johnny Vaught won 3 national titles or shares of it in 3 consecutive years. I think that this is the corner that we've been waiting to get to. And we'll see exactly how we pass the test. You've heard me talk for 3 years. Keep banging on the door until you knock it down. Talking about the playoffs. Keep banging on the door. It doesn't matter if you lose a game. It doesn't matter if you get 50-burgered at Georgia, or last year you lose the ball game to Kentucky and Florida and all that. Keep banging on the door. And this is just another example of banging on the door and doing the right thing, in my opinion. Anyway, in our final segment, the recruiting guru Steve Wiltfong is predicting Ole Miss will land an elite 2027 quarterback. We'll introduce the name he's eyeing, break down the upside, and talk about what it could mean for the Rebels. Coming up next. Thanks again for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your go-to source for Ole Miss sports. We pride ourselves on offering the most comprehensive perspectives, which is why we're the front door of Ole Miss. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. It helps the show, and it's completely free. Your support means the world to us. And another big moment for Locked On, college football fans. Locked On and Fire TV are presenting College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation, a longtime 2-time AP Coach of the Year, Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts. A college football preview only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Hotty toddy, everybody, and remember, analytics is just the old English word that means bad football. We'll see you tomorrow.